In my AP US Government History class, we are doing a reflection video on Unit 1. So I am doing mine on how different views of history can change how we see the story. I find this really interesting because of how well it relates to this Unit 1. Almost all the key aspects, if you look at it from two different sides, it really makes a difference in why or how it was implemented. The first big one was Columbus coming over. It used to be back later, it was a highly celebrated event. Everybody had a chance to, it was a day off of school. It was a highly celebrated. Today we no longer get it off, and Columbus is kind of frowned upon in a way due to his way he treated the Indians. For Europe, Columbus coming was a really great thing. It gave them the ability to have this new world, this new place to explore, this new place to get goods out of, and to just have this really great place. For the Indians, it wasn't really all that great. Thousands were persecuted from him. They ended up having to move totally off their land. This caused a little bit of, between tribes, they came in a lot of fights because they were going on to other tribes' lands. So it wasn't the best thing for anybody in this case. It was a very hard thing for a lot of the Indians. For Columbus, it was a really great thing. For Europe, it was a really great thing because it led to what we have now. So that's kind of two views and how they can kind of compare and contrast of how you view it. If you hear the stories from the Indian side, it doesn't sound all that great. But if you hear it from Columbus's side, it sounds really great. They discovered this new place. It was a discovery like anything. And I think that idea of two sides of the story went into kind of the whole making of U.S. history. And I think it goes into even history today of there are two sides to every story. And I think that's extremely important to understand. So as we continue on, all the acts that the British put in place was another big one. For America, or for the colonists, they really wanted they wanted their own kind of way of living. They didn't want to be told to do something. They wanted to at least have some say in what was happening within their area, within the colonies. Britain, on the other hand, they paid for a war for them. They paid for a war to protect them. So they felt it was their respects or their duties to pay them back. Necessarily, are we paying them back because they're technically under their rule in a way? So technically they were defending themselves, but it's one of those things. Also, Britain's people had higher taxes, higher standards, not so much standards, but taxation, I guess, and more strict standards than the Americas did. But to some extent, the Americas wanted to be free, and that's what really led to. So again, if we look at it from the America side, they didn't see a reason for it. They didn't see right for it, and it really just made them upset. If we looked at it from the Britain side, they were trying to get money back from them that they used to protect them. So in a way, it's a very, for them, they needed it. So as we kind of wrap this up, one of the biggest things is to understand that even though we learn history from very much so the U.S. side of things, we also want to look at it from how other countries, other groups of people, other ethnic groups, other religions see this. It's a very, I think, important concept, even in today's life of, we might see it from our point of view and our very narrow-minded point of view, but seeing it from somebody else's might pose a totally different story. It might pose a totally different way of thinking. So it's very, very important to keep that in mind as we're looking at history.